In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, where star systems dance in an eternal cosmic ballet, a lone escape pod drifts through the void. Inside, Princess Lyra of the Celestial Empire shivers, her iridescent skin dimmed by exhaustion and fear. The royal markings on her neck, once a symbol of supreme authority, now serve as a death warrant. Her own people, corrupted by a shadowy force, have turned against her. The pod's systems flicker weakly as it enters Earth's orbit. Lyra's heart races as she watches the blue planet grow larger through the viewport. Her research had shown her that humans were considered primitive by galactic standards, barely reaching their moon. Yet they were her last hope. The Empire's influence hadn't reached this far-flung world. At NASA's Mission Control, Sarah Chen straightens in her chair as unprecedented readings flood her screen. Director Reynolds, we have an object entering Earth's atmosphere. It's using controlled descent patterns. This isn't space debris. The room erupts into controlled chaos as dozens of experts track the mysterious visitor. Captain David Parker leads his Air Force squadron on what should have been a routine training mission. Command, visual confirmation of the object. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. The pod glows with an ethereal light as it descends, its graceful design clearly beyond human engineering. In a remote forest clearing, the pod touches down with surprising gentleness. Local police officer Tom Wilson arrives first, his hand steady on his flashlight rather than his weapon. 23 years on the force taught him that fear only breeds more fear. The pod's door opens with a soft hiss, releasing a cloud of strange-smelling vapor. Lyra steps out, her translator working overtime to process English. Her royal robes are torn and stained, but her bearing remains dignified. She looks at the gathering crowd of humans, military personnel, scientists, and local law enforcement, and sees something her own people had lost, compassion in their eyes. I come seeking sanctuary, she announces, her voice carrying both authority and desperation. My empire spans 1,000 worlds, but I can no longer call any of them home. A darkness has infected my people, turning them against everything we once held sacred. I chose Earth because your species still remembers what my people have forgotten, the value of standing together against impossible odds. As if to punctuate her words, the sky lights up with multiple entry flares, Imperial pursuit ships, their weapons already charging. Humanity faces its first contact with advanced alien life, and it comes in the form of a choice: stand with the princess they just met, or bow before an empire that spans the stars. Tom Wilson steps forward, positioning himself between Lyra and the threatening lights in the sky. Sarah Chen's voice crackles over military channels, coordinating a response. Captain Parker's squadron banks toward the new threats. In that moment, without any formal declaration, humanity makes its choice. The real question is, will it be enough? The Imperial pursuit ships descend like metallic predators, their hulls gleaming with an otherworldly sheen that makes Earth's most advanced aircraft look like children's toys. But humanity's defenders don't back down. Captain Parker's voice remains steady as he addresses his squadron. Form up, tight formation. Remember your training. Today we're not just defending our airspace, we're defending everything we believe in. Sarah Chen's fingers fly across her keyboard at Mission Control, coordinating with military installations worldwide. Satellite data streams in, revealing more ships emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. We've got multiple contacts, she announces, her voice tense but controlled. They're positioning themselves around our orbital defense satellites. Princess Lyra watches the humans' response with a mixture of hope and guilt. The darkness that corrupted my people, she explains to Tom Wilson, who hasn't left her side. It started subtle. Small changes in behavior, decisions that didn't quite make sense. Then came the purges. Anyone who questioned the new direction was labeled a traitor. Her translator catches slightly on the word traitor, as if the concept causes it physical pain. The first shots fired aren't from the Imperial ships, but from Earth's own missile defense systems. A barrage of interceptors streaks skyward, targeting the lowest flying pursuers. The Imperial ships dodge with impossible grace, but the human missiles are numerous enough that even perfect evasion costs them valuable positioning. Your weapons are primitive, Lyra says, reaching into her torn robes, but your spirits are strong. She pulls out what looks like a crystal the size of a smartphone. This contains the access codes to my personal flagship, hidden in the Kuiper Belt. With it, you'd have a fighting chance, but using it would make Earth a target for the full might of the Empire. Tom Wilson shoulders his rifle, dark humor dancing in his eyes. Ma'am, I think that ship has already sailed. Behind him, military vehicles pour into the clearing, disgorging soldiers and equipment. Someone has brought mobile anti-aircraft batteries, their radar dishes already tracking targets. High above, Captain Parker's squadron engages the Imperial ships. Earth's fighters are hopelessly outmatched in technology, but their pilots showcase something the Empire didn't expect: creativity. They use the atmosphere itself as cover, diving into cloud banks and pulling maneuvers that their alien pursuers' computers dismiss as suicidal. Sarah Chen's voice cuts through the chaos with urgent news. Multiple impacts detected in major cities worldwide. They're not weapons. They're landing crafts. We're picking up thousands of ground contacts. They're not just here for the princess anymore. Lyra's expression hardens as she activates the crystal, its surface coming alive with holographic displays. Then it's time humanity learned exactly what they're fighting against. The Empire isn't just after me. They're after everything. Every planet, every species, every spark of free will in the galaxy. The crystal projects an image that makes even the battle-hardened soldiers step back. A map of the galaxy, with vast swathes of space marked in a sickly purple hue. The infection consuming the Empire isn't just political. It's something far more terrifying, and Earth has just become its next target. The holographic display from Lyra's crystal bathes the clearing in an eerie purple glow as military commanders huddle around it, studying the infection's spread across thousands of star systems. Each purple dot represents a fallen civilization, their free will stripped away by something that bridges the gap between technology and biological corruption. In the skies above, Captain Parker's squadron has lost 3 fighters, but they've managed to down 2 Imperial ships through sheer determination and unconventional tactics. They're not invincible. His voice crackles through the comm systems. They rely too heavily on their tech. They don't expect us to fly into their shots just to get a better firing angle. Sarah Chen's urgent voice cuts through all channels. Multiple orbital defense satellites are dark. Ground reports confirm the enemy is deploying some kind of crystalline structures in major cities. They're spreading, growing like purple coral. Her voice catches as new data streams in. Biological scans show people near these structures are experiencing rapid neurological changes. Tom Wilson watches as helicopters evacuate civilians from nearby towns. It's not an invasion, he realizes, looking at Lyra. It's an assimilation. They're not here to conquer us. They're here to convert us. The princess nods grimly, her iridescent skin pulsing with barely contained energy. Lyra's fingers dance across the crystal surface, bringing up detailed scans of the infection's spread pattern. My people were the first to fall. Our advanced neural networks made us perfect targets. But humans, she looks up at the fierce determination on the faces around her. Humans have something we lost generations ago, the ability to reject perfection in favor of freedom. A thunderous boom draws all eyes skyward. Through gaps in the clouds, they glimpse Lyra's flagship, a massive vessel that makes aircraft carriers look like towboats, dropping out of hyperspace. But instead of hope, Lyra's face shows terror. No, they found it. They've corrupted my ship. The massive vessel's surface writhes with purple crystalline growths. Its weapons charge, targeting not just military installations but population centers. Captain Parker's squadron moves to intercept, though everyone knows their weapons will barely scratch its hull. Sarah Chen's voice, normally so controlled, trembles. The crystalline structures in the cities are resonating with the ship. Whatever they're planning, it's starting. Across the globe, millions of people clutch their heads as an alien signal attempts to rewrite their neural pathways. Lyra's crystal pulses with increasing intensity. There's one way to stop this, she says, her voice heavy with determination. But the cost? She looks at the humans around her. their faces strained but unbowed in the face of technological apocalypse. Your species may be our last hope. The question is, are you willing to sacrifice everything you have to save everything you are? Tom Wilson's voice cuts through the tense silence. Whatever needs to be done, we'll do it. Around him, soldiers and civilians alike nod in grim agreement. But before Lyra can respond, her crystal flashes a warning, a new signal different from the infection. Impossible, she whispers, her iridescent skin paling. There are others, survivors from my home world, untouched by the corruption. They've been hiding, watching, waiting for this moment. The Crystal Project's new data, a resistance movement scattered across remote systems, have been studying the infection's weakness. High above, Captain Parker's squadron faces imminent destruction from Lyra's corrupted flagship when suddenly, sleek vessels emerge from hyperspace, the Resistance fleet. But their arrival brings both hope and horror. Their scans reveal the terrible truth. Earth's primitive technology and humanity's stubborn independence aren't just obstacles to the infection. They're the key to destroying it completely. Sarah Chen's voice breaks through with devastating news. The crystalline structures are evolving. They're not trying to corrupt us anymore. They're trying to destroy us. The infection recognizes humanity as an existential threat to its survival. The purple structures in cities worldwide begin pulsing with deadly energy. Lyra's hands tremble as she decodes the Resistance's data. The infection is a hive mind. It doesn't just corrupt. It needs complete control. Human brains. She looks at the determined faces around her. Your chaos, your emotional decisions, your ability to act against logic. They're poison to its system. That's why it's changing tactics. It would rather destroy Earth than risk exposure to human unpredictability. The corrupted flagship's weapons reach full charge, its purple crystals resonating with structures on the ground. But as the Resistance fleet engages, Lyra makes a discovery that changes everything. The infection hasn't just corrupted our technology. It's been guiding our evolution for millennia. Humanity escaped its influence because your planet was quarantined ages ago by my own ancestors. The Resistance fleet engages the corrupted flagship in a desperate battle, buying time as Lyra works frantically with her crystal. Earth's quarantine wasn't just protection, she explains, her voice rising with urgency. It was preparation. My ancestors saw this coming millennia ago. They protected Earth so humanity could develop naturally, as a weapon against the infection. Tom Wilson watches the skies light up with energy weapons, while Sarah Chen coordinates a global response from Mission Control. Captain Parker's squadron, now fighting alongside Resistance ships, discovers something extraordinary. The corrupted ships can't predict their illogical human maneuvers. It's time, Lyra announces, the crystal pulsing with blinding light. The quarantine didn't just isolate Earth. It seeded a dormant defense network throughout your planet's crust. Your television, radio, internet signals. They've been gradually activating it for decades. Every human broadcast, every emotional transmission has been strengthening Earth's immunity. The crystalline structures in cities worldwide suddenly shift color, from purple to a brilliant gold. The infection recoils as it encounters something it never expected. The combined electromagnetic echo of billions of human emotions, amplified by ancient technology. The corrupted flagship rides in space, its purple growths cracking. But victory comes with a price. The network will purge the infection, Lyra says softly, but it will also destroy all advanced technology on Earth, including your satellites, power grids, she pauses, and any alien technology, including me. As humanity faces this impossible choice, Sarah Chen discovers a hidden pattern in the infection's code, a familiar sequence that matches human DNA. The truth hits like a thunderbolt. Humanity isn't just resistant to the infection. They're its original creators, from an ancient civilization that chose to start over rather than succumb to their own creation. The final choice falls to those in the forest's clearing. With seconds to decide, Tom Wilson looks at Lyra and sees not an alien princess, but a reflection of humanity's future. Sometimes, he says, reaching for the crystal, the only way forward is to take a step back. The network activates. Earth's technology goes dark. But as the infection burns away from ships and cities, Lyra's form begins to glow not with death, but with transformation, her ancestors' final gift, the power to bridge the gap between what humanity was and what it will become again. In the aftermath of the planetary blackout, humanity faces a new dawn. The skies, once filled with battling spaceships, now shine with unprecedented clarity as nature reclaims its domain. Cities worldwide begin their recovery, communities coming together to rebuild in a simpler yet more connected way than before. Lyra's transformation reveals the ultimate gift from her ancestors. She becomes a bridge between humanity's past and future. Her iridescent skin now reflects not alien royalty, but the merged potential of both civilizations. The Resistance fleet, before departing, leaves behind data crystals containing history, not technology, lessons learned rather than shortcuts to advancement. Tom Wilson returns to his small-town police duties, but now he helps coordinate the global recovery network using more traditional methods. Sarah Chen leads a new research initiative, combining ancient wisdom with modern innovation to develop technology that empowers rather than enslaves. Captain Parker and his surviving pilots become teachers, sharing lessons about human ingenuity and the power of unpredictable thinking. The crystalline structures, now inert, stand as monuments in city centers. Scientists discover they can use them as natural amplifiers for human consciousness, creating new forms of communication that don't rely on digital networks. Communities gather around these structures, sharing stories, emotions, and dreams in ways technology never allowed. Lyra, no longer a princess in exile, but a guardian of Earth's future, works alongside humans to unlock the potential within their DNA. The ancient civilization's choice to restart wasn't an admission of defeat, but a masterful strategy, creating a species that could evolve beyond the infection's reach. As Earth rebuilds, something extraordinary happens. The very chaos and emotionality that made humans resistant to the infection spark a renaissance of art, music, and innovation. Without relying on advanced technology, humanity begins developing in ways neither their ancestors nor the Empire could have predicted. 1 year after the blackout, Tom Wilson stands with Lyra atop a hill overlooking his town. Solar-powered lights twinkle below, a humble but hopeful sight. "We lost the stars," he says, referring to humanity's dreams of space travel, "but we found ourselves." Lyra smiles, her transformed being glowing softly in the twilight. "You never lost the stars," she replies. "You're finally ready to reach them, not through conquest or corruption, but through the very thing that saved you, your humanity." In the end, the story of an alien princess rescued by fearless humans became something more, a tale of humanity rescuing itself, proving that in the vast cosmic dance, the most powerful force isn't advanced technology or alien might, but the unpredictable, beautiful chaos of human spirit.